Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to Double Nine Radio. How are you today?
Hi,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Should I tell you I am? You really want to know?
Yes, I really want to know.
Oh my gosh, I'm so super excited. I've been so excited since I found out that, you know what? I've got the one and only coming on the show this evening. I'm so super excited. But I'm sure my listeners are wondering, who's this guy so excited about? He's always excited. Who does he have on the show? Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when she does introduce herself, you should be excited on your seats as well. Or wherever you are listening in, globally. But without further ado, who do we have on the show today?
I'm actually quite excited now that I hear your own excitement. That's good.
Fantastic. So tell us. The suspense is a lot. Who do we have on the show?
Nikki. Hi, I'm Nikki.
Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, she's being modest there. It's the one and only Nikki, the real Noriega. The one and only. You can't, there's no substitute. It's the only one. Welcome to the show, Nikki.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic. I'm elated. I'm excited. I'm getting overwhelmed, but I need to just hold myself. So my listeners don't think, why is Double Nine so excited this evening? So today, ladies and gentlemen, we thought, what? Let's bring the fantastic Nikki on the show today and have her, bring our own style to the show. Instead of having social, as you know, where we talk about things around dating, relationships, and everything around couples as well. So today, you know what? We just thought, we spice it up a bit and we bring the Ask Aunty Nikki show onto you. Do you know why now? I've been talking about the number, why you need the number. I can see already people are already sending in questions already. Wow. It's going to be fire today. But anyway, if you still don't have the number, it's 074 956 36899. And with today's show, you know what? I'm going to let you don't have to send in your name. Well, if you just send a question in, you can just say where you're sending a question from or where you call in. I'm not going to ask you too many questions. If you don't want to tell me your name, it's fine. If you just want to call in and just say, you know what? I'm calling from Newcastle, I'm calling from Scotland. Wherever you're calling from, just let us know. You don't have to tell us your name. So, Nikki, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. But I'm sure that the questions in people's mind are wondering, they've always been seen as fantastic, energetic, beautiful, stunning, lady on Instagram doing great things. I'm high. No, I'm just saying the facts. I'm just saying the facts as I see it. They're wondering, who's this lady? If anyone was to ask you and say, what would you say who Nick is?
I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl who, after years of being in a shell, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to let out what's already there underneath my shell and just be me and just live life as it is. I'm also a mother of 3 children. 22 years old, my firstborn. My daughter's 19, my youngest is 7. I'm also a businesswoman, and I'm a herbalist. I specialize in herbs to help women and all their uterus-related problems, fertility, fibroids, anything sexual. I'm a herbalist there. So that's me. Oh, and I'm also an agony aunt in my spare time.
Yes, that's why we have the Ask Aunty Nikki show today.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Questions have been coming in already. Ladies and gentlemen, you can call in as well. This is your opportunity. I'm sure you've been watching her on Instagram Live. All the Instagram Live she does, amazing, entertaining things that she does on that, and also speaks about product. You mentioned about the herbal products as well. I'm quite intrigued about that because not a lot of people, go down the herbal route. They always don't believe that maybe it works or there's something there. But I think it's quite fantastic because you've already had great testimonies about that. So what kind of products do you sell?
I sell mostly herbal teas, and I specialize in vaginal steaming. And this all came about because firstly, I'm someone who I don't like taking medication. I don't like going to the doctors. So I've always resorted to teas and herbal stuff when I've got minor problems at home. And you know how these days just bombarding your body with antibiotics and tablets is actually not good, even though they say it is, but it's not. So I just decided, let me help mostly women and help them to get relief the natural way, which is more beneficial to the women than taking antibiotics. And that's how it all came about. And I just thought, you know what? The herbal route is the way.
Amazing. Fantastic. Herbal route is the way. I mean, you talked about vagina steaming. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. How does that happen? What is done? What does that do?
Okay, so it's a process where, depending on what your ailment is, say, for example, if you have fibroids obviously located in the uterus, sometimes outside, and so we would make a mixture, a concoction of herbs that are specially targeting the fibroids, and those would be placed in a dish or a special chair in hot water, where the woman would then sit over that chair and cover herself with a blanket so that the steam does not escape. So as those herbs steep in that hot water, the oils from the herbs actually go up, and it's kind of inhaling them with the vagina. And that is always really helpful for the women.
Amazing. I'm sure some individuals out there will be listening to this, you know what, is that going to make it more edible? I don't know. I didn't say that. I don't know. But what can I say? It's steaming. You must try it out and find out from our fantastic Nikki as well. So, you know what? I think, without further ado, I'm going to go into the questions, because these questions are coming thick and fast. Ladies and gentlemen,
all right.
It's Ask Aunty Nikki, as we said as well. All those questions you were scared to ask people, all those questions you've always wanted to ask, all those thoughts you've always wanted an answer to. And those questions about relationships, dating, and all sorts, and maybe sex as well. Who knows? Because she's talking about vagina steaming. I don't know. Doesn't make it more edible. I say it again. I don't know. Who says it can't? But okay.
It does.
It does. You see?
It does.
It does.
Definitely.
It does. See, I'll ask my first question, and and Ask Aunty Nikki has told us, yes, it does. So, you can engage with that. But we should probably be sharing the details on how to engage her on the product line as well. So let's go to the first question. As I said, it's fine. You don't have to put your name, but I'll just quickly read out the number again. So even if you forgot about it, the number is 074 956 36899. That's 074 956 36899. You can call us on WhatsApp as well, or call us direct on the phone, send a WhatsApp or send a text. So the first question, I'm guessing possibly this is a woman or a man, I don't know. So the question says, what is the best position for a woman to reach orgasm?
The best position is a sexual position.
I believe so.
Okay, I think that's a very complex question, because women are different, okay? Women are different. Some women will tell you that if it is doggy style, that's when they reach orgasm. Some women will tell you that he needs to be on top to reach orgasm. And I think this is a question that is very difficult to answer, because there is no one answer for it.
Wow.
For some women, it's not sex at all that helps them to reach orgasm. I'm one of those women. I rarely reach an orgasm from sex.
Wow.
So I think that's a very complex question that can never have one answer.
Okay. So, I mean, thank you for answering the question. As Aunty Nikki said...
Sorry. Okay, but I should say, I think the main thing for a woman to reach orgasm is to stimulate the clitoris. I think whichever position you're in, as long as the man can do that, whether he is using a vibrator or his fingers while inside her, that is always one of the main ways for a woman to reach orgasm.
Fantastic. Aunty Nikki said it. You look for the clitoris. I don't know. You might be somewhere there. You need to find it. Or maybe after it's steamed, you can see it properly. Who knows? But look for the clitoris and you can make an orgasm. You know what I mean? Okay, we're going for the next question. which says, what is the most sensitive place for guys?
The most sensitive place, in my opinion, it is the anus, the asshole.
Wow.
And yes, so you need to insert a finger. Most guys are quite conservative about this, and they don't want to try it. But once they have tried it, it's one of the most exhilarating places that a guy can be stimulated. So it's a matter of inserting the fingers, not that much, about 2 centimeters in, facing upwards, and kind of scratch there. That is a very sensitive part for the guy. But the tip of the penis is also a very sensitive one, and I'm sure the ladies know that after a lot of sucking, normally that's the place that gets painful or too sensitive if you overdo it.
Wow. Nikki, I'm a bit worried now. Like, you know what I mean? You can make a guy sell his soul. You know, the way you describe.
Why are you worried? You should be holding a paper and pen taking notes, not worried.
No, I don't want to find out about a guy's sensitive place. The girls should be finding out. Okay. I have another question. I think I'll read this question. So just come in. It says, what advice would Nikki give to a black woman in her 20s? What? Okay, please. She says, please may I ask Nikki what advice she would give to a black woman in her late 20s? Okay, I mean, you know, that was the text.
Right.
Did you get that?
Yes, I got that, but that's a wide subject as well. You see, if I was on my Aunty Nikki show right now, I would actually be telling them that get your act together when you ask me questions, because you need to be precise.
You just said it.
I cannot give you the whole world.
You just said it. This is Ask Aunty Nikki show, the 35NSocial style way. But you just said it.
Yes,
get your act together.
So please be precise, because I'm not about to start reading out the dictionary from A to Z to answer you. I need precise questions so I can answer precisely. But so I don't know whether she's asking whether it's work-wise or relationship-wise or sexual-wise. I have no idea. I'm not about to start rambling.
Okay, we just reply to us and say what aspects are you referring to. Hopefully she does respond as well. Okay, so another question comes and says, can all women squirt?
What is the question again?
Can all women squirt?
No, not all women can squirt. But I believe that all women are capable of squirting if they're stimulated the right way.
Okay, wow. All women are capable of squirting if they're stimulated the right way. So what are these ways? I'm sure the guys are listening. I'm just asking on the behalf of guys here, you know, because I know they're thinking this. You know, what are these ways that this woman, you know, you can get them to squirt?
Again, this is a matter of it's one of those questions as well where the answer, it has various answers. But mainly a woman squirts when something is inserted in her, be it fingers or a penis. The main way to make a woman squirt would be using the fingers. Kind of the way that I referred to the man, where you put his fingers up his anus, is kind of the same for a woman, where you put fingers up her vagina and point your fingers up to the G-spot, if the men know where the G-spot is. So it's fingers inside, 2 fingers preferably, you don't want to tear her apart. 2 fingers, point them up, kind of give a little nudge, tickle. For some women, you need to do it extremely fast to get that squirt. And for some, it's the slow, deep strokes that get the squirt. But that's where it would come from.
Wow. Fantastic. Okay. I mean, gentlemen, I hope you're taking notes, because we have Aunty Nikki on the show. This is exclusive. You know, I do try for you guys out there. Okay, we've had the response from the lady, I presume, who sent that question, and she says, in respect, she says, what's that? Okay, I'll start the question again. It says, what is the advice she would give to a black woman in her late 20s in respect of relationships and trying to settle?
Okay. What I would tell her is that I know that according to us Black people, when you're in your late 20s, you are told that it's too late, you should have settled down by now, or you should find a husband. I would just tell her that don't rush into anything, because marriage is going to be a lifetime. It's not too late. Although people will say it is too late for you, it is not too late. Take your time to find the right person. And it's good, I think, when you meet someone later on in life, because you've discovered yourself, you've found yourself, you now know what you like, you know what stimulates you. So I think just take your time and find the right person, and don't mind what the rest of the world has got to say about your age and how late it is.
Right, so take your time. Do not rush. That's the message from Aunty Nikki.
That's what I would say, yes.
That's what she would say. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we'll take another question as well. My boyfriend doesn't like dildos, but I do. How do I get him to accept it? I mean, I think people are on fire this evening. Oh my gosh, Aunty Nikki, you've opened up a huge chest. A chest of people out there. Do you know what I mean? It says my boyfriend doesn't like dildos, but I do. How do I get him to accept it? It's like a competition. How is he going to compete with that?
Do you know what? I think most men feel very threatened when a woman uses a dildo. But let me tell you, the answer to every problem or question in the bedroom is always communication. If you talk to your man and tell him that it's not that the dildo is better than you, but I'm just trying to enhance what we already have. It is just a stimulation for the both of us. What men need to understand is that for you as a man to enjoy me as a woman, I need to enjoy first. I need to be relaxed. There is no way that you will enjoy your woman if she's not stimulated fully. So I think the main thing is I don't know if she's spoken to her boyfriend about it before or not, but I think the main thing is communication, and communication in the right way, in the right setting. Don't communicate with him and make it a fight. Make it a nice conversation where you are letting him know how this is something that excites you and pleases you, and you would like him to get involved. Involve the man as well, because I think why men feel this type of way about dildos is when they're not involved, or when you use the dildo on your own. So let him be the one to take over and use the dildo on you. Get him involved. And men are like babies. Once you get them involved, they relax and everything goes smoothly.
Wow. So get your partner involved. That's the message here.
And communicate.
And communication. I think you're quite right, because communication is very key.
Yes.
Because some of us think, you know what, I want this, I want that, but the other person actually wants it as well. But if you don't communicate more and let them be part of that process, that could, maybe remove the resistance towards that dildo thing. Okay, another question again. I find it hard to fall again. Sorry, I'm finding it hard to. People, man, write it properly, please. Okay, so I'll say it again. So I'm finding it hard to get away from my ex. We've been talking again since lockdown. How do I get out of it?
Right. Do you know if this is a woman or a man?
I'm hoping it's a woman. I think. Because I think I think they're trying to say that they've kind of like fallen for their ex again due to the lockdown. How do they get out of it?
Right. So she's finding it hard to stay away from her ex.
Yes.
Do you know what? This is the thing that always puzzles me. I always get people who write to me and say, I want to leave my husband, or I want to leave this person, or I don't want to be with this person anymore, and I'm finding it hard. The answer is, what do you want us to do about it? It is you in that situation. Even if I come and tell you right now that your ex is not good, you need to leave him, he's toxic. Women do not leave until they want to leave. There is absolutely no advice you can give to a woman who says she wants to leave a man. There is nothing you can tell her. We can talk all day today and mention all the bad things about her ex, but the moment she puts the phone down, she's just going to go back to that ex. And now, because we don't know the background, we don't know the history, it's kind of hard. But I think if you do not want to be with your ex, only you can let go of your ex. There is no one here who can help you to let go of your ex.
But I mean, why do women find it hard to actually move away from exes sometimes? You know, I think if we look at the majority of individuals who fall into this category, I mean, I stand corrected. I think it's mostly women. Why do you think that happens?
I think with women, it's a matter of fear. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of being alone. It's fear of starting afresh. We as women, we've been conditioned to believe that no one else will want you after me. I'm the last one. I am the alpha. I'm the omega and the alpha. So after me, there's no one else. So a lot of women fear that, and it's always hard to let go because of that fear. And I think once you condition yourself and tell yourself that it does not matter even if I sleep on the street tomorrow, because your freedom is what matters the most. Women do not leave because of the comfort that is in that relationship. But once you condition your mind that I do not care where I am tomorrow or what I'm doing, as long as I'm out of this toxic relationship, you can do it.
That's very important. You know, that self-determination and seeing it through. Because I mean, but what she's saying here now is like, can we blame it on the lockdown? You know, looking for that attention and kind of like looking back and say, oh my God, my ex.
No, we cannot blame it on the lockdown. I'm single. Okay, no, I'm not single. I do have boyfriends here and there, but officially I'm single. And during the lockdown, this is the time that I used to actually block all my boyfriends because I realized that they were useless. I got rid of a lot of them. So there is no excuse to say that because of the lockdown, now I'm stuck to someone. No, this is a time that you should be finding yourself and preparing yourself for when the lockdown ends so that you attract the right type of men. Because as long as you're still lingering around that dirty water, you're still going to attract a dirty man. So this is her time to let go of her ex and be alone. And this goes back to what I mentioned, that women are just scared to be alone. It's a lockdown. She's scared to be alone. And she thinks, let me go back to my ex. No, baby girl, leave that ex. Wow. Be on your own. It won't kill you to be on your own for a while and find yourself. Wow. After the lockdown, you will find the right man.
Words of wisdom. You can stay around dirty water. You always find dirty things, you know.
You always find a parasite.
You always find a parasite. So, you know, lock them away as the one and only, the real Noriega, just locked all of them away during this pandemic season because emotions can be flowing. Okay, I think this question is from a guy. He says, I've always fantasized about a certain lady. I have her attention, but I'm worried I might, oh my God. Okay, I'm reading it, sorry. But I'm worried. Okay. But I'm worried I might come quick when we get together. How do I handle the situation?
Oh, why do I feel like this sort of lady is me? This is something one of my boyfriends would say. Okay, I think it's normal for a man to come quickly when he's really excited to meet a woman for the first time. And, you know, I think any mature woman will understand. I meet a lot of men who come in 30 seconds the first time. Wow. And I let it go because I know that they're excited. Okay, if you really like someone, you have excitement in you, so you're looking forward to it, as long as you make up for it when it comes to the next round. So I don't think he should worry that much about coming quickly when he meets her, as long as he makes up for it. When it comes to the next round.
As long as you make up for it. My G.
I'm saying that in capital letters. Long as he makes up for it in the next round.
No pressure. Just try to make up in the next round, man. No pressure. But if you have some, like Nikki, you're finished, my brother. Because she knows all the favorites.
I think he shouldn't worry, honestly. He shouldn't worry. Because right now I could say to him, be slow, concentrate on the foreplay and do the licking and the wah. But, God, those things are boring. Like, just do your thing and make up for it on the next round.
Fantastic. Just make up for it on the next round. No pressure. You're not alone, as she said there.
No, he's not alone.
There's a 30-second gang out there. You know, not saying Double Nine Radio or Double Nine is part of that gang. But what can I say? We'll move on to the next question before we dwell on that too much. So, the next question is, Nikki, can I hear you laughing in the background there? Is this?
No, I'm not laughing.
You listen attentively, right? You don't like the steady second
I'm
bang.
listening. I'm listening attentively. Don't worry.
Okay, so the next question is: my sex life is very boring. What tips do you have to spice it up?
Could you repeat that?
Not my sex life. Their sex life is very boring. What tips do you have to spice it up for them?
Right. Their sex life is very boring. Okay. Sex life usually gets boring when it becomes routine. And I say this from experience. I was married for 11 years, and you have a routine where it's missionary for 3 minutes, and then the side one for another 2 minutes, and then baby, the only way that I come is when I'm behind you. So now turn over. I'm about to come. It's routine where that he's about to flip me to the left. He's about to flip me to the right. He's about to come. That becomes boring. So I think the main thing to keep your sex life exciting is to always keep it different. Don't have sex only in the bedroom. Have sex in different rooms in the house. Have sex in the car. Flirt on the streets, in a restaurant. Put your foot in between his legs when you're sitting in a restaurant. Let him finger you while you're eating at a Michelin star restaurant. Make sure that the sex is always exciting. That's the only way to make sure that you don't get into that routine.
Okay, so routine is a problem. Don't get into too much routine, because routine can get quite boring. I think I could agree with you there, because the same old things with no spices, like having chicken every day and no beef, can be quite boring as well. So you're quite right on that one. So spice it up, in different areas, and maybe use the vagina steaming, and maybe it becomes more edible. Who knows? I don't know.
Exactly. Actually, now that you've mentioned it, for the woman, the vagina steaming is a very good one to steam, because what happens is when you sit over the herbs and you steam, that heat, it stimulates the muscles in your vagina. So I always tell my clients to steam about an hour before sex, especially those who say they're quite dry or their libido is very low. If you steam about an hour before sex, that heat, it stimulates you so much, and that always helps.
Fantastic. Okay, I've got another question already. Again, it says, I'm in love with someone I can't be with. How do I get over him?
I would not advise you to get over it. I would advise you to go and find that person that you're in love with.
Oh my gosh. Aunty Nikki says she's not going to advise you to get over him.
Listen, my advice is never. That's why I call myself the unorthodox Aunty Nikki. I do not give the advice that most people will give you. Most people will give you the safe advice where you will stay in your little corner and you will never grow. You'll just be a seed that does not grow. But for me, I believe if you're in love with someone, unless, of course, if she's married, then I guess you have to respect that. But if she's not married, I don't know the reason why you cannot be with her. And I would say go and be with her.
Okay. But I think there's a lady saying that she's in love with someone I can't get over him.
She said him. Okay, yeah. So I think if unless he's married, then she has to let go.
You have to let go. That's what Aunty Nikki says as well. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's take one more question before the break, because the questions are coming thick and fast. This guy's. I want you to call in. This is your opportunity to actually speak to Aunty Nikki as well. This is the one and only time, she can respond to you live on the show. It's 074-956-36899. She doesn't bite. I don't know. Or maybe she does. Who knows?
May I add something? Hello?
Yes, I'm still here.
I just, what? Let me actually just say this, because when I first started doing Aunty Nikki on my Snapchat, a lot of people were writing to me and saying, you know what, you're not a very respectful woman, you're not married, at your age, you swap boyfriends here and there, so why would I want to take advice from you? And my answer to them is this. I was married for 11 years, and during that 11 years, I could never give you advice on a relationship because I couldn't even keep my own relationship. But from being a woman who has been on the streets and has so much experience, I would rather hear advice from someone who's experienced it. Okay. If you talk about being with a married man, I've experienced it, and I will give you advice. I give most of my advice from my experiences. Not to say that people should go and do what I did, but I'm using myself as an example so people don't go and make those same mistakes. So I think for me, it's more important to receive advice from someone who's been there and done that, rather than to listen to someone who's been married for 20 years, because the only advice she can give you is about her own husband. She will never advise you about the streets. And I'm here to advise for the streets because I am in the streets.
Wow. The real Noriega spoken. Aunty Nikki has spoken. You know, she's giving you a live and direct. Oh, we have a first call already. We have our first. Oh, they're gonna. Why? Look, you can't be giving me a missed call and expect me to call you back. Call back, mate. You know what I mean? She says she's not gonna bite. You know, have this conversation. You can call me on WhatsApp as well. The number's available. I don't want to start. Okay, she's calling back. Oh, he's calling back. We don't know. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Double Night Radio.
Hi, my name is Zella. I just have a question about relationships.
Okay, go on, Zella.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if somebody, if I was in an abusive relationship, do you think it's okay to go back to that person who was abusive to you, even if they might show that they're willing to change? Do people change really, or should I just move on with my life and forget about that person?
Aunty Nikki, over to you.
Hi, Bella. How are you?
Hi.
Okay. This is the thing. There is the famous saying that says a leopard never changes its spot. But I don't want to be the person to say that, because a lot of miracles happen in this world, and I believe that people can actually change. But I think this comes back to you. You have a man who abuses you physically. I'll ask you a question. When he abused you, did you enjoy it?
No, definitely not. No.
You didn't enjoy it. Okay. Now, when you look back and think about it, do you feel good when you just take yourself back to the day that he did whatever he did to you? Do you get butterflies in your tummy? Do you feel good? Do you feel hurt? What do you feel?
I feel anger, hurt, bitterness.
Okay. So do you want to go back to that feeling?
I don't know why. Yeah.
Do you want to go back to that feeling?
No.
So your answer is your question is answered. If you yourself decide that I do not want to take this shit anymore, sorry for saying, if you yourself decide that this is not what I want, then you're not going back there. But if you believe that this is something you can take, or you feel like, it's not that bad, then you're going to go back. So you need to sit down and ask yourself, do I want to be beaten up? No. Do I want to be verbally abused? No. Once you answer no to all those questions, then there's no need for you to go back there. But only you can decide that. Only you can answer those questions. I cannot tell you to go back to that person or not to go back, because like I say, women can never be told what to do with their spouses. You can tell them and give them all the advice in the world, and they will still go back. So it's a matter of you deciding if that is what you want.
I understand.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Have you got an answer to your question there?
I did. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for calling.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Aunty Nikki spoke there. Aunty Nikki spoke there. That's amazing. That's great advice, because you can't really tell, do you know what I mean? You can't really tell question, what the woman would do. You can say this, you can say that, but do you know what I mean? They'll do what they need to do. Okay, we have
it all comes. Sorry.
It's
all right.
Please carry on.
I was just saying, it all comes down to her. That's it.
Yeah, it does, and I totally agree with you there. Because we can be here and say, no, don't go back. No, don't do this.
Yeah.
But at some point, if the will is not there, not to go back, she will eventually go back. But she has to make that decision within herself and say, you know what? I can accept this. I can't accept this. I can do better. that's better for, it goes back to the thing you mentioned about women feeling scared to think, you know what, I can't, find anyone else. No one else is going to find me attractive. But there are loads of people that will find you attractive,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, fantastic. Okay. We have another question. It says, hi, Aunty Nikki. I'm a full-time mom and I'm scared. What advice would you give? I'm 24, just graduated. I've got a job, but it's not my dream job or the career I want.
Could you repeat the last part? I've got a job, but
it's not my dream job or the career I want.
Right. Okay. What I would say to her is that when you're a single mother, sometimes you don't always get what you want immediately. It's a process which takes a bit longer than for someone who does not have children. E.g., someone who does not have children could decide, I want to go and study in China tomorrow, and she'll be on a flight. But when you're a single mother, you need to consider your children. You need to consider, if I do this, will it benefit my children? Will it disturb my children's balance? So all I can say to her is that as long as she has the goal and she knows what it is that she wants career-wise, she should work at it at a pace that is still not going to disturb her home. Right now, she might be in a job that is not the ideal job. As long as you know that this job is just a stepping stone until I get to where I want to be, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There are a lot of people out there who are doing jobs that are not their ideal jobs, but because of the circumstances at the time, they are doing them. So I'm not going to tell her to drop that job and go for what she wants immediately, because that could fail. And at the end of the day, you've got nothing to fall back on. You've got children. So I would just say to her, as long as you stay focused, it's a good thing because she already knows what she wants. She already knows that I'm doing this job now, but this is not my dream job. This is what I intend to be. Make a plan, set your goals, give yourself time. For me, I think the best thing when you set goals is give yourself a time frame.
Yes.
Maybe if you say, I've got 1 year with this job, at the end of this year, I should have achieved this, which will help me one step further into my dream job. Take it step by step and put your child first in whatever you do.
Fantastic. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better than that. You know what I mean? Set yourself goals, isn't it? Set yourself goals.
Yeah.
Then have the milestones to check those goals you've set.
Yeah.
Like, you reach the step, and you keep moving forward. Being a single mom doesn't mean you can't achieve what you want. What you've done here is you've actually stood up and said, you know what? I'm not going to be on benefits. You've got out there to get a job. You graduated as well. Even people that don't have kids, don't graduate. But you've actually done that. You've graduated. You've got a job. It's not your dream job, because you know what? Because you can achieve better. This is why you think it's not your dream job. And I think you're doing amazing things. I think, Aunty Nikki, that's an amazing response on that one. Okay, let's take this. Again, the phone lines are still open as well. We'll be going for a break soon, but the phone lines are still open. It's 074 956 36899. That's 074 956 36899. Okay, so we'll just take this one more question before we go on a break. He says, I really like this guy, but he's seen someone. Is it okay to be his side chick?
No, it's never okay to intentionally be a side chick. If you become a side chick accidentally, that's okay. But to actually set out to go and be a side chick, that is demeaning yourself. You're setting a low standard for yourself. Of course, I understand. Listen, we are not perfect, okay? None of us are perfect. If you accidentally become with someone and you end up being a side chick and you're in love with him, blah, 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 that's fine. But for you to actually set out and say, there is a guy, I want to be with him and I'm going to be his side chick. No, girl, you are selling yourself short. You need to value yourself.
Wow. Don't sell yourself short. Value yourself, Aunty Nikki says, because it's very important, because you're already selling yourself short there, because you're already lowering your standards or lowering your value, which is unacceptable, because women should be treated like queens, because they're royal. As the real Noriega, Aunty Nikki has spoken this evening. Fantastic. Okay, on that note, we're going to go for a short break, and trust me, I know. I want to say thank you to everyone sending questions in because the questions just coming and coming and coming and coming. I want to say thank you, but I want you to call in as well. Don't be shy. You know, she said she wouldn't bite, but only if you ask her to as well. But what can I say? But stay locked on, stay locked in. It's our host, Double Nine, with the fantastic Nikki, the real Noriega. Trust me, you don't miss the other side of the show. We'll be back shortly. Nikki, the real Noriega. On 35NSocial with a twist today, coming through to you with the show of Aunty Nikki. Ask Aunty Nikki. Ask those questions. Those questions you've been wanting to ask. Those questions you've been, scared to ask your friends. All those questions you thought, you know what, I want an answer to this question. All those questions about relationships, sex, dating. Aunty Nikki's here to give you the answers as well. The real Noriega. Aunty Nikki, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, let's go back into the questions again, because my listeners to this evening, and they're on fire. They're on fire this evening to say, you know what, we're going to be asking great questions, but are you all shy? I can't believe this. Like, no, I've only had one person call in today, but you said it all these questions. You don't want to ask a question. Are you shy? Okay. Anyway, so now we've got a question. I think this is from a guy. He says, been after this girl for a while. She's been ignoring my advances. But she recently seemed to be interested and asked for some financial assistance. Am I being used?
No, you are not being used. The main way to attract a woman is to throw some finances. So you're not being used. If you like the girl, at least now you know what she wants. So there you go. She wants the money. So are you willing to give the money or not?
Okay,
You're not being used. Men need to know that when women ask for money, they are not being used. We generally need money. What's the point of having a man who's interested in you and messaging you 20 times a day? Baby, good morning. Baby, how are you? And some of them have the nerve to say, baby, have you eaten? And then when you respond and say, no, I have not eaten, she won't do anything about it. So why are you asking if I've eaten? So no, you are not being used. She has a financial problem. It's either you sort it out or you don't and move on to the next person.
Are we sure you're not biased in answering this question? I don't know. I'm just guessing. Because why is she now interested in the guy when she needed financial assistance? I don't know.
She's testing him. She's testing him. Because when you have a guy, she's testing him. She wants to see what he's going to do. He's been after her for a while and she hasn't been responding. And to be honest, I don't think she likes him that much. But now she's decided, I don't like him that much, so let me ask him for money. Let me see if he's going to give the money. So that now depends on whether he really wants to be with her or not. But then it also depends whether he wants to be with her or he wants to be with her, So it depends what she wants.
Okay, so it was a test that she said. It was a test.
It's a test, but you know what? Speaking as a woman, the only way to pass that test is to actually just give her the money.
Okay. She said, give her the money. Maybe you can pass the test and get the edible VV. Who knows? Maybe she's used this.
Yeah, he should give her the money. And in future, it will teach him to let go when a woman is not interested in him. If you talk to a woman and she's not interested in you, leave it. If you keep persisting, then the next thing she is going to ask you for money. So give her the money.
Okay. All right. Another question said, how do you know when a man really loves you?
Do you know, for me, as I say, speaking from experience, I measure love with time. For me, the most expensive thing that a man can give you is his time, especially a busy man. If it's not about the gifts. You can get a man who is wealthy who will buy you everything. He's not buying because he loves you. He's buying you because he can. And he's probably buying you. But once that man dedicates his time to you, people just don't realize that time is the most expensive thing that anyone can give you. Time and actions. Actions, you will know if a man loves you from the way that he looks at you, from the way that he says your name, from the way that he just stands next to you. You will feel that aura. It's not about him telling you that he loves you. It's just the little things, the actions, you will know. And the main thing is the time.
Wow, words of wisdom. I can't agree. I can't disagree. I would just have to say yes. What can I say? What can I say? Okay, I have another question. It says, I haven't been able to orgasm with my current boyfriend. Is there something wrong with me emotionally?
No, there's nothing wrong with you. But from the way it sounds, I think she's been able to orgasm with other people and just not with this current boyfriend. So maybe there's something that he's not doing, or maybe actually it could actually be her emotions. It could actually be something in her head that is stopping her from orgasm or from reaching orgasm, because she says she's done it before. So that's very possible, but I suspect that there's something that he's not doing right.
Okay, there's something he's not doing right. So
yeah, I suspect that there's something that he's not doing right. He's not stimulating her well. I suspect that.
Okay, so it couldn't be something wrong with her emotionally, but because she actually experienced the orgasm previously with someone else.
That's why I corrected myself and I said that's actually very possible. The fact that she's actually mentioning this, it means it's coming from somewhere, because women don't just mention things like that. Okay. So it could also be that. But then this is the thing. Even if women are emotionally detached, when the guy does the right thing and the sex is good, you forget for that 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, however time it takes him.
Fantastic. We have another caller. Sorry about that, Nikki. Hello, good evening, good morning. Welcome to Urban Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You don't have to tell us your name, but just tell us where you're coming from.
Michelle, I just want to ask, basically, what if, my ex says he loves me, but then he doesn't really, he says he loves me a lot, but then some of his actions don't reflect the love. Does it mean he doesn't love me, or am I just being delusional? Thank you.
Nikki, over to you.
Hi. I don't know if I heard it clearly. So your question is, your ex says he loves you, but some of his actions don't prove that he loves you. Is that your question?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's my question.
That's your question. Okay. I think it does not necessarily mean that he doesn't love you. Remember that someone who loves you will also make stupid mistakes. We all make stupid mistakes. Just because we make those stupid mistakes does not mean that our feelings are any different. He can love you 100 and still do whatever the wrongs that you're talking about that he's doing. So to answer your question, it does not necessarily mean that he doesn't love you. I believe that he could actually love you, but he will still do what humans do, and that is to err.
Did you hear that?
Is she still there? Oh, okay, babe. The things that he does. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
could you give us an example?
What if it's you are so into your ex, but then it seems like your intuition is no, they don't really like you or love you like that, but you're still fixated on them. What's that about?
Your intuition is something that's very strong. And I think a lot of people should learn to actually listen to their intuition. This is the thing which I said in the previous answer, that when someone loves you, you feel it. You don't hear it from their words, but you feel it. And if your intuition is telling you that this man does not love you, then it means his love is not what you want. He could love you from his own point of view, but it's not the love that you are looking for. And I think that you should listen to your intuition, because 90% of the time it's right.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that I was able to communicate with you. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
You're welcome, hon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 I mean, that's quite amazing. That is quite amazing. It is amazing. But again, intuition you mentioned. But do women pay attention to this intuition?
Some do, some don't. And it's not just women. It's men as well. Men have intuitions as well. It's not just the women. Some people do, some people don't. But I think it's important to listen to intuition. It doesn't mean that it's always right. Sometimes you could be wrong about someone just because you felt a certain way about that person. But most times, your intuition is a very, very big alert that people should at least take time to observe and listen to.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, you're quite right. I think, I don't know, it is a difficult one there. Because she's saying that the actions doesn't show or, someone who loves them. So, I don't know. I think she answered our question there. Okay.
And actions speak louder than words.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
Okay. So another question as well has come in. Look, I mean, I must apologize if I don't get to your questions today. I'm sure maybe another time. Hopefully, we can get back on as well at some point as well. But we'll still keep going. Just want to ask a couple more questions as well. So it says, I had a breakup, but still have feelings for her. How do I get over the feelings?
Could you repeat that? He's broken up with her, but he still has feelings. Is that it?
Yes.
Feelings take time to get rid of. There is no magic pill that you can swallow to forget someone. It could take a week. It could take a month. It could take a year. It could take years. As long as you know that you definitely cannot go back to be with her again, you just have to ride it out. It's a wave. Ride it out. There's nothing much you can do. But speaking as Nikki, I would tell you to find someone else. You need someone to help you forget the last person. That's one of the quickest ways to get over someone. But that depends on yourself and your morals. But I believe that is the quickest way to get over someone. But when it comes to genuine feelings, there's not much you can do. You just have to ride it out, and eventually you will find someone who's going to come into your life and make you forget about the last one.
Amazing. I mean, easier said than done. You just have to, ride it out because you can't be quiet.
You have to ride it out. You have to go through the pain. It's one of those things where you need that hurt. To be honest, everyone needs that hurt. It's kind of a hurt that stimulates you in the long run. So you need to accept it and ride it out.
Wow. Okay, another question is, what do you think about dating apps and long distance relationships?
Dating apps. I've seen a lot of people who get married from dating apps and meet the love of their lives. But I think for me, personally, I think these days dating apps is just a whole big sex game. Everyone out there is out for sex. That's what I have seen from dating apps. But that doesn't mean that you still can't meet someone who is tangible from a dating app. I think what I would advise anyone, if you are going on dating apps, try to go for the expensive ones. Try to go for the ones where you pay. That way you weed out the useless people from the genuine ones. If you find... Sorry?
You said the useless people, but you carry on, yes.
I know I was about to say another word, but I'm trying not to swear on radio, so I had to just use useless people, Okay. But you need to weed them out from the rest. You still are going to get a lot of nincompoops from the paid sites as well, but at least you're dealing with the ones who are a little slightly more elite than the others. So I would say don't give up. Right now we're going through a pandemic. There's not a lot of ways to meet people. We have to resort to dating apps. Unfortunately, like I've said, everything is now sexualized. You chat to someone on a dating app, the first message after he gets your name is, can you send me a picture of your boobs? or can I see you naked? That's not what you want, especially if you're after dating and you're not just looking for a hookup. So it makes things a little bit difficult. But I would say out of 20 frogs, you're going to meet one prince.
Word is advice.
So just don't give up.
Don't give up. I mean, Aunty Nikki has given us some real words of advice this evening. You know, out of 20 frogs, you might still meet that Prince Charming. So keep going, but don't, steam your vagina too much because it might get too edible, as you mentioned. Okay, let's get on to the next question. What advice do you have for single ladies during this lockdown period? I think we'll be talking about lockdown, and they're asking the single ladies out there, what advice do you have for them?
Okay, single ladies. First and foremost, get yourself a good dildo, a very good one. Get 1 or 2 or 3 of them. Get a butt plug. Get them all. Get everything. So you can at least lock yourself up in your room and just do some things yourself. Half of the time when you think of someone, you're just horny. But if you use a dildo, after you come, you realize that you were not really missing that person. So I would advise that first and foremost. Secondly, stay away from the idea of thinking of exes, because that's what we do. I'm a woman. I do that as well. During the lockdown, I start scrolling down my phone and thinking, I can't meet anyone new, so let me go back to this one. Try to stay away from the toxic men that you let go for a reason and don't go back there. Find time. This is the perfect time. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. As long as you can hear me, because there's a little echo on my side. So all I can say is this is the time to find yourself. Find that hobby that you wanted to do. I'm reading and writing a lot now. Stay away from the toxic men. Find yourself. Get to know your own body. Get to know the things that you like, and prepare yourself for when everything opens up.
Fantastic. I think the greatest thing, what a great advice you give is get to know yourself, because this is the time.
Yes, this is the time.
Yes, everyone is in lockdown. You're not going anywhere. You want to understand. I think advice is for everyone, really, because we don't even get enough time when everything was opening up. We go out, you go to work Monday to Friday, you go back, you go out on a weekend, and it's just a cycle. So I think it is a good advice. You know what? Use this time to actually get to know yourself. And but the dildo thing you mentioned, does that affect? I've always wanted to ask a question. This is Anthony. This is my time to ask my question.
Go ahead.
With the dildo thing, when a woman uses that so much, does it kind of affect the sexual life when they now have a partner? Because they're so used to it. Does it have an effect on the sexual intimacy, or the intimacy when it does happen with that partner when they eventually find someone?
Obviously, if you overdo it, then yes, it will affect the actual intimacy when you are with someone. If you are masturbating every day or more than once a day, then definitely it's going to affect you when you are now with someone. So I think you need to find the balance of not overdoing it. And if you are a sex addict and you feel like you have to do it all the time, find ways to forget it. There's some times when I feel like I need to masturbate and I stop myself and grab a book, or I just call someone and forget about it for that day. So find a way to not overdo it. That way it doesn't affect you, because if you do overdo it, then you will never be fully satisfied when it comes to your sexual partner. You will keep thinking of that dildo. And trust me, they are extremely addictive.
Wow. Words of advice there from Aunty Nikki this evening. Make sure you don't overdo it. There's always a balance in everything that you should do. And I think that's one of them as well. Because if you get addicted to a dildo, you might have to marry one. Who knows? What can I say? Anyway.
Who knows?
Anyway, so okay, I think I'll take this last question. I want to say thank you to everyone. I can see more questions coming in, but the time is fast spent because she's given us a great amount of her time this evening. We're going to try and bring her back on. The one and only Aunty Nikki, the real Noriega, will be back on. But I'm going to take this last question. It says, I'm a single mother and single, but struggle to find a decent guy. Any advice?
What did you say? After struggle to find a decent guy?
Yeah. the struggle to find a decent guy.
Right. Okay. Do you know what? I think like I answered someone earlier, when you're a single mother, it's never a straightforward thing to find a man, because the man you're finding is not for you alone. It's for you and your child. So you might meet a guy that you have fun with in restaurants, in bars, but you know that this guy is not going to get along with my child. That's already a strike. He's out, no matter how much you like him.
Yeah.
So for us single mothers, it's always going to take a little much longer to find the right person. Please note, I'm not saying we cannot find the right people. It will just take a little much longer and a little more scrutiny. So all I can say to her is try to be a little more open. I know that we single mothers, our criteria is extremely high. Try to be a little more open. Try to engage with as many people as possible. You don't have to sleep with them, but just engage so that you learn the different types of men, how far they will go for you, what they will do for you, and how they can incorporate into your life with your child. And trust me, eventually you will find the right person.
Fantastic. Eventually you will find the right person.
You will.
Live an open life. It doesn't mean you have to open up your VV because it's gone under stimulation and you feel this tingly sensation. You want to get engagement and have some stipulation. Oh my gosh, I'm going to stop rhyming now because I think I'm going to get out of the bag. Aunty Nikki, oh my gosh, I've had such an amazing time on the show this evening. I want to keep you till tomorrow morning, but I don't even I got stamina for that because...
You can't even afford that.
Oh
Please.
My gosh, she says I cannot afford it. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, my listeners, she says I can't afford it. We don't know. We could afford it. We could afford it. You never know. This is Dominar Radio. We can go fix. We can get a donation together, or we can start a FundMe page. We never
a GoFundMe.
A GoFundMe page. You never know. But I've had a great time on the show this evening. I hope you've had too. And I'm hoping we can lure you back onto the show and engage more with our listeners, because I think you set fire to our listeners' ears this evening, and they're like, oh my gosh, I've got great advice from the one and only Ask Aunty Nikki on 35NSocial. Hope you had a great time.
No, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me, and this was good. I think the people who know me, I'm usually just good at writing. I'm quite shy when it comes to talking. So I think this went a bit better than I expected. I'm never really good talking with listeners. I'm not really good at that.
Fantastic.
It was a good one. Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Doesn't mean we're going to have you back on the show at some point.
I don't know. Well, you do have a sweet tongue, so I'm sure you'll find your way.
Oh my gosh. She says, my tongue has to be sweet. I don't know. Maybe I need to buy some of your products to make my tongue sweeter so that I can engage.
I think you do have a sweet tongue, so that's how you got me onto this show today in the first place. So I don't think you have a problem getting me here again.
Fantastic. Ask Aunty Nikki. She says that the real Noriega has spoken. But before you go this evening, do you want to say any words to our listeners out there who might be listening attentively to yourself?
I just want to say, you guys have fun, live life. Don't care what the next person says. It's all about you. And the best thing is to always try to be transparent. That way, none of your SHIT can be used against you. If you learn to lay it all out there, no one can ever come and use it against you. Just be you. And that's it.
Fantastic. Great words of advice there. Be you. Never worry about no one is thinking about. Do you know what I mean? Lay it out there because it's only one you. Fantastic.
Yep.
And it's only one Nikki. The only one beautiful, stunning, amazing, the real Noriega. I've had a great time on the show this evening. I can't wait to have you back on the show. Have a fantastic weekend. And I hope you speedy recovery as well, because I can't wait to see you back on your feet and giving us those amazing moves. I can't wait as
well. I miss dancing. Oh, Lord.
I'm sure we'll have you back in no time. Have a fantastic evening, and I'm sure we will speak to you soon. Thank you again for coming on the show.
Thanks. Bye, everyone. Thanks for having me. Bye.